Hi, I'm Noah from Mama Cherry Bikes in London. I'm going to show you how to take off a very puncture resistant tyre from this wheel and put back on the easy way. So we start at the valve end and release all the air from the tyre. It's very important that you get as much air out of the tyre as possible, otherwise it's going to make our life really difficult. Remove the valve lock ring completely, and if you're not changing the tube, put it aside. So this tyre is pretty tough, it's puncture resistant, the casing is very, very stiff, it can be really hard to get off. The first thing you need to do is pull all of the slack in the tyre up to the top where the valve is so that we can get it off. First thing you want to do is push the valve all the way in, and with your other hand pull the tyre, rather squeeze it with your fingers, into the middle of the rim all the way around. Making sure again that the valve is all the way inside the tyre. Pull one section of the tyre out and use your tyre lever, not a spoon or a screwdriver, and hook it underneath. So once we got the first part of the tyre off, we now need to pull all that slack up into the top where the tyre lever is pulled out to make it easier to get it off. So again, we're going to squeeze the two edges of the tyre into the middle of the rim. The middle of the rim is a smaller diameter, and therefore that is going to make it easier to get all the slack in one place. And at this point, you can start to run the tyre lever around. Once you've got one side of the tyre off, you can then pull the inner tube out. It's a good idea to pull the inner tube out completely, leaving just the valve inside. This again creates more slack, more space inside to get the tyre off. And then you can pull off the other side and remove the tube and the valve together on the tyre. So once you're ready to put it back in, you want to make sure you start with the inner tube inflated just enough to make it form a round tube shape. This is probably not quite enough there, there's a bit more air in. Not too much that it blows up and starts to deform, just enough that it takes on a nice round shape. This will help make sure that you don't pinch the inner tube when you put it back in. Put the tube aside. We'll start with the tyre. The aim is to put one side of the tyre onto the rim. Just one side. Make sure you're not mixing up your sides and putting on one side on one end, the other side on the other end. So once you've got one side of the tyre on, run your fingers around the inside, make sure that there is only one side on, complete. Find the valve hole in the rim. Here, take your valve, the tube and the valve, pull the tyre aside so you can insert the valve into the valve hole. And carefully pull the tyre over the tube. So now we've got the valve in, tyre seated on one side only, we can start to tuck the inner tube into the tyre. The easiest way to do this is to put it flat on a table or on the floor and use your waist to hold this side of the tyre, the wheel, as you tuck the inner tube in. So you don't have to worry too much about pinching at this stage. There should be plenty of space in there. The tube is the right size to get it in easily. Once you've got it in, all the way around, we need to make sure that it's tucked in neatly as far as we can inside the tyre. So if you have a look here, we want to push it in right inside the rim all the way around. And once it's tucked in properly, it's almost all the way there. We now want to get the other side of the tyre in without pinching the tube. Starting at the valve, you want to push the valve all the way inside the tyre. Remember, it's held in by the tube, or the air in the tube, and we need to put in just the area of the tyre around the valve, like that. Only that bit, from about here to here. If we go any further with this amount of air in the tube, it's going to be quite hard to get the rest of the tyre in. So at this point, we want to let some of the air out. Not all of it, just enough to make it a bit easier. And as you go around, before you push the tyre into the rim, you need to, with the fingers of your other hand, just check and make sure the tube was not going to get caught as you push it in. Can be a bit of a tight gap, tight squeeze in there. As you go around, the air in the tube is compressed, you may need to let a little bit more air out. Now, we've got about 3/4 of the tyre on, and it's getting really, really stiff. And this is the area where most people get stuck. It's really important that you don't try and put the last bit of the tyre on either opposite the valve or actually at the valve itself. So to repeat, then you do not want to be putting on the last bit of the tyre opposite the valve or at the valve itself. So really you're aiming for this area here, so the 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock position. Doesn't really matter which one, just not at the valve or opposite. So we need to shift this around simply by pulling it off this side, pushing it on this side. So now we're approximately 90 degrees on the valve. The trick to getting this seemingly impossible bit on, which just seems like it's never going to go, is to put the wheel here, pressed against your waist, and hold it up here with one hand. And while pulling or pushing up here in a rolling action, we're going to squeeze the tyre, like we did when we took it off, into the middle of the rim. 2 edges into the middle of the rim. This is going to create a little bit more slack and bring all the slack up to this point where we want it to gather all the slack into one place. Check again before you proceed that the valve is all the way pushed inside the tyre, and start squeezing with the other hand while pulling with this hand. So we've done this side, we've got a little more slack, we still need to do more, so we need to swap hands. So all this pressure and gathering the slack up here, we need to just change over to the other hand. And then, in my case with my left hand, do exactly the same as we did on that side, on this side. Squeezing the tyre into the middle of the rim. And again. And we've got another couple of millimeters up. Still pretty hard, the tyre's pretty stiff. It's still going to be hard work to get that over. So have faith in the process and do it again. Repeat. So this time again, left hand, holding the tyre, pulling the slack this way, right hand, squeezing the 2 edges of the tyre into the middle of the rim. Swap hands, same on the other side, again all the time pulling up with this hand. And once you've done that a few times, the last bit, and this is the area where you're most likely to pinch the tube if you haven't done this, will go up really easily, like that. And it's in.